Hi, welcome to the quiz. You can answer along on quizalto.com, all for free. The exact URL of this quiz will be in the notes down below. Let's get started, good luck. How does AWS X-Ray assist in maintaining service-level agreements? By encrypting database backups. By tracking service response times. By managing hardware upgrades. By testing disaster recovery plans. AWS X-Ray assists in maintaining SLAs by tracking service response times and identifying deviations that may impact performance. What is AWS X-Ray's role in monitoring microservices-based applications? Generating test data. Optimizing storage usage. Monitoring CPU temperatures. Tracing and analyzing requests. AWS X-Ray's role in monitoring microservices-based applications includes tracing and analyzing requests to identify performance bottlenecks and errors. What does AWS X-Ray use to record request data? Segments. Project management software. Screen capture tools. Antivirus software. AWS X-Ray uses segments to record request data as it moves through different components of a distributed application. How does AWS X-Ray assist in identifying anomalies in application behavior? By generating promotional content. By comparing expected and actual performance. By scheduling backups. By analyzing social media sentiment. AWS X-Ray assists in identifying anomalies by comparing expected and actual performance metrics across distributed applications. What does AWS X-Ray help developers to understand about their application? Customer demographics. Performance bottlenecks. Compliance issues. Marketing analytics. AWS X-Ray provides insights into performance bottlenecks and helps in identifying the root cause of issues in distributed applications. What does AWS X-Ray use to visualize service dependencies? Service map. Calendar view. Organizational chart. Task list. AWS X-Ray uses a service map to visualize dependencies between services, illustrating how different components of a distributed application interact. How does AWS X-Ray assist in understanding request paths? By showing service call sequences. By managing travel bookings. By generating legal documents. By analyzing stock market trends. AWS X-Ray assists in understanding request paths by showing sequences of service calls and the timing of each interaction in distributed applications. How does AWS X-Ray assist in identifying performance bottlenecks? By managing DNS records. By optimizing SQL queries. By encrypting data traffic. By analyzing service response times. AWS X-Ray assists in identifying performance bottlenecks by analyzing service response times across distributed applications. How does AWS X-Ray assist in analyzing application performance? By managing user permissions. By conducting compliance audits. By correlating data from multiple services. By printing log files. AWS X-Ray assists in analyzing application performance by correlating data from multiple services to provide a comprehensive view of request flow. How does AWS X-Ray assist in debugging applications? By benchmarking competitors. By managing file storage. By conducting market research. By showing a request's path through the application. AWS X-Ray assists in debugging applications by showing the path of a request through the application, highlighting errors and latency issues. What is the purpose of AWS X-Ray annotations? To encrypt data. To add metadata to traces. To create visual reports. To manage DNS records. AWS X-Ray annotations are used to add metadata to traces, providing additional context for better understanding of request behavior. What does AWS X-Ray use to trace requests from end to end? Notifications. API keys. Traces. Logs. AWS X-Ray uses traces to trace requests from end to end, capturing data about each service that processes the request. How does AWS X-Ray assist in improving request throughput? By predicting future trends. By optimizing service calls. By generating sales leads. By managing office supplies. AWS X-Ray assists in improving request throughput by optimizing service calls and reducing latency in distributed applications. What does AWS X-Ray use to control the number of requests to record? Firewall rules. Encryption keys. Sampling rules. Access control lists. AWS X-Ray uses sampling rules to control the number of requests to record, helping developers manage costs and trace visibility. In AWS X-Ray, what is a daemon? A load balancer. A monitoring tool. A database instance. A process that runs on EC2 instances to collect segment data. In AWS X-Ray, a daemon is a process that runs on EC2 instances to collect segment data and send it to the X-Ray service. How does AWS X-Ray assist in detecting application bottlenecks? By managing user passwords. By testing software updates. By identifying slow-performing components. By enforcing firewall rules. AWS X-Ray assists in detecting application bottlenecks by identifying slow-performing components in distributed applications. What does an AWS X-Ray segment represent? An individual component of a distributed application. A database schema. A user session. An API endpoint. A segment in AWS X-Ray represents an individual component of a distributed application, such as a function call or an HTTP request. How does AWS X-Ray assist in identifying error rates? By analyzing fault percentages. By generating marketing leads. By performing hardware diagnostics. By optimizing server uptime. AWS X-Ray assists in identifying error rates by analyzing fault percentages in distributed applications. How does AWS X-Ray help in troubleshooting latency issues? By pinpointing delays in service calls. By tracking user logins. By backing up database files. By running vulnerability scans. AWS X-Ray helps in troubleshooting latency issues by pinpointing delays in service calls and identifying the cause of slowdowns. How does AWS X-Ray assist in identifying errors in applications? By auditing user activity. By highlighting faulting services. By generating financial reports. By predicting future trends. AWS X-Ray helps in identifying errors by highlighting faulting services in distributed applications. What is the primary benefit of using AWS X-Ray? Understanding and improving application performance. Creating social media campaigns. Predicting market trends. Automating backup procedures. The primary benefit of AWS X-Ray is understanding and improving application performance through detailed tracing and analysis. How does AWS X-Ray help in understanding dependencies between services? By auditing financial transactions. By generating email campaigns. By visualizing service maps. By managing customer support tickets. AWS X-Ray helps in understanding dependencies between services by visualizing service maps that show how different services interact within a distributed application. What is the purpose of the AWS X-Ray console? To manage billing information. To configure IAM roles. To view traces and analyze service behavior. To monitor DNS resolution. The AWS X-Ray console allows developers to view traces and analyze service behavior to troubleshoot and optimize application performance. Which AWS service integrates with AWS X-Ray for analysis and tracing? AWS CloudFront. AWS Redshift. AWS Elastic Beanstalk. AWS Route 53. AWS Elastic Beanstalk integrates with AWS X-Ray for application analysis and tracing, providing insights into performance and behavior. What does AWS X-Ray use to generate a visual representation of service map? File storage locations. Network bandwidth. Customer feedback. Traces collected. AWS X-Ray uses traces collected from distributed applications to generate a visual representation of service maps, helping visualize the architecture and flow of requests. And that's a wrap. Thanks to everyone who participated. Remember, you can answer along on quizalto.com, where you can keep track of your progress and find much more quizzes. We hope you had a fun and challenging time. Until next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more. Hit the bell icon to be notified as soon as we upload. Please leave a comment if you have any thoughts or suggestions, and, If you think this video is worth sharing with someone who could benefit from it, please forward a link to them. See you next time. Thanks for watching.